Carlos Lastra has been repping Progress Daily since before I wanted to even put together a team. And people were shocked when I announced the first 5 riders, and Carlos wasn't one of them. The truth is, his talent is unquestionable, his love and dedication for skateboarding is unmatched, but I wasn't sure if Carlos still had it in him. And not for the lack of skill or passion, obviously, but Carlos falls hard, a lot. Since he left Braille, he's been kind of a ghost, uploading less, sharing less of his life. So I had to know everything, what he's been through, where his mind was, what happened at Braille, and most important to me, what he's doing next. But for me to truly know the scope of Carlos's journey, I had to know what made him tick, so I had to understand where he came from.
Well, dude, where are you?
Actually, I'm in Glendale, Arizona right now, at my pop's house.
Is that where you've been since you've been in Arizona?
Yeah, well, I've been kind of making rounds, like visiting a few friends every now and then, so... For the most part, yeah, I've been here just catching up, because I haven't really been around my dad in a long time, so father-son catching up moments.
So when you were 15, what was the last trigger that made you go, I'm going to California?
You know, I got a few offers, but it was like a personal matter, just family and stuff, and, you know, like mom and dad splitting up, and just didn't really want to stick around to see that. Like, I'd rather just go out and do something with my life while I have the opportunity. Because if I would have turned it down at that point, I don't think I would be where I'm at now.
Did you have sponsors before you went out there who were like, yeah, we'll help you out if you come out here?
I would consider it more broken promises than anything, but, you know, they did for the first part help me out. But, you know, like I had to get like a bunch of Joe jobs, like talking like Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, dishwashing, and
right.
Just anything I needed to do to get by, because at that point, you know, I took a big gamble. I'm not willing to backtrack. I'm just going to bust my butt as long as it takes to make it. You can make it in skateboarding, but the amount of work that I had to put in to get anything out of it was like, once I turned pro, it was like everything that I struggled with was actually worth it.
I found a few old videos of Carlos where it was obvious that his community held him at a very high standard, with YouTube titles like Arizona's Best Skater or The Carlos Lastra. I resonate deeply with Carlos. I know what it is to come from a small community that tells you that you need to do something with your skateboarding, you need to chase the dream. The turning point for Carlos came when a certain someone showed interest in him, someone who has also shown interest in me at one point, for Lamont Holt, Paul Rodriguez, Mike Moe, Sean Rodriguez, Chris Chan, and so many more skaters.
How much longer after you moved to Long Beach did you start filming with Nigel Alexander?
Ooh, man, I started filming with him at 23, maybe 24 years old. Yeah, I met him before, like, you know, just what he was like filming like Alex Midler and like a lot of his people he used to work with. And I think I was at this Gay Man contest in Costa Mesa, so he came up to me afterwards and gave me his number and said, hey, we're gonna go like, you know, skating in a few days, so if I'm in the Long Beach area, I'll hit you up. Sure enough, I go to the Houghton skate park in North Long Beach, and he's like, hey, I got an extra spot in my car if you want to come, you know, hang out with us. And so it all pretty much started from there. And I just, you know, obviously you get opportunities like that, you take advantage, and you're like, I just want to skate as best I can for that day. It was kind of like easing it in. It was like, you know, once a week, and then it was twice a week, and then next you know, we're filming like 4 or 5 days out of the week just to get like something going. And then I filmed like a bunch of footage in a month. He just told me, he's like, hey man, like I have enough footage for a video, but if you want, I can put it together and just like put it out there and it'll help you, you know? So I was like, yeah, why not?
Nigel introduces you to a different side of skateboarding. There's a traditional industry you're used to seeing, but then there's this side route. It's just as difficult, but it's better suited for skaters like Carlos. Not only is this when I started seeing more of him, but it's also around the time we met.
Do you remember how we first met?
It was at that round ledge thing. That's like the first memory I have of like you being there, and I'm like, oh, that's that guy John Hill. And I was like, oh, dang, that dude's gnarly.
I think we met before that. I don't know if it was before or after, but this is going to sound really crazy. Do you remember Ross from Subliminal Wheels?
Oh, Yeah.
I met you at his house one time, but I think you had just woken up, and I was just saying what's up. Like I was like, oh yeah, what's up? And I think I was just passing through. But yeah.
Oh dang. Yeah, I don't remember that.
Do you remember Ross?
Oh yeah, Ross. That guy's definitely a character for sure.
So what did he promise? Because I know he offered you a sponsorship for Subliminal Wheels. What was promised?
The initial part of when he got his company, he like gave everybody $1,000, and that was like the last one to get on. He was actually one of the sponsors that like just hooked me up with extra products so I could sell it just to get by. So
That's cool.
gave me like the product, and I had to like hustle it out myself, just to get a bite to eat, or sometimes,
Yes, both Carlos and I got paid $1,000, which is how I survived the first 3 months in Long Beach. And I'm also sure how Carlos was able to maintain. The guy who owned the company ended up losing all of his money and did DMT about 5 times a day, so he was pretty much an alien, a happy, energetic, disorganized alien, but did make for the best company owner. Even with this rise in popularity with Nigel, Carlos still wasn't getting paid.
You know this right now. It doesn't matter how good you are at skateboarding when it comes to having sponsors. I think the main thing is like being marketable, showing them that like you're optimistic with any situation that you get. If something doesn't go your way, so what? Eventually you'll get something out of it. What I can say about AKA is he took his time to help me, and we basically became like brothers throughout the whole process, because we were always getting along. We always had something to talk about, and like on and off skateboards. Like there's a few things that me and him went through that we could relate, and it just made it to where, okay, like we're more like family now, and I think towards going pro for 3 block days, he just kind of told me like, yeah, I'm gonna start, I think like for you, I taught you everything I know, so I want you to take that knowledge and just get out there and do it yourself now. And basically it was just, for me, Braille.
Right.
That was my opportunity to like just make something of my own, and like he's the whole reason P-Rock became pro. To have that guy take me under his wing and just teach me everything that I know about the industry now, like I am forever grateful. And he's just such a genuine good dude. Like right now, he's been working with Andy Anderson. I see Andy just coming up right now, dude. So it's insane.
So in the 8 years before you met Nigel Alexander, did you have any serious issues in the industry that really brought you down or made you discouraged? And in those situations, how did you kind of fight it, if you did?
It was like skating contests, good, doing perfect runs and just not getting like what you thought that you needed to get. And that's where I started understanding the politics of like everything. Like that's where it dawned on me, like, okay, it doesn't matter how good you are. Like you have to be a little bit more of everything if like companies want to really like look out for you and take care of you as far as sponsors go. But yeah, I mean there was a few companies that I had to leave based off like just I saw how they did, and for me I was a passionate skateboarder, so I wasn't really willing to get into the whole propaganda part just yet. Because for my eyes, I was still learning how to skate. I was still working on like a lot of the stuff that I know now. At the same time, there's a little bit of a few hindsights of things that I should have done better, but in California, it's a learning experience. Life has to move on, and I'm just stoked to be where I'm at now. The fact that I'm still part of the industry at all.
Right.
It's great.
Why don't you think the politics favored you? Like, why do you think it favored the other guy?
Well, I think like labels, if a certain person has a certain sponsor, even though they might not land their tricks, they get picked over certain people,
What happened next was Carlos's big break. It's what pushed him into being one of the most recognized skateboarders today, what pushed him into having stability, what led him to more career opportunities, and what also led him into a breakdown of his mind and body, and what also contributed into why I didn't initially sponsor him.
Why are you there? Like, what happened?
Well, I moved out when I was like 15 years old, man, and just kind of went to California to kind of pursue the life of skateboarding and stuck it out there as long as I possibly could. I was out there for about, I think 12 years for starters, and then I moved to LA for a bit. Then I went to Huntington for a few months, and then I went back to LA, and then back to Long Beach. And I think at that point, I was already like retired from skating competitions. Like at the point, I'm like 26 years old, and I was like, I want to do something new. So I got a job to pay back a lot of the debt that I was in for friends who helped me out. And I got hit up by Aaron Cairo.
Oh, right.
I just turned pro for 3 block skateboards. So if I do this job, I'm not going to be able to sell boards at all. So that's, Aaron had hit me up, and I wasn't necessarily done paying back people yet. So once I got done, I hit up Aaron and I was like, hey, is that offer still there to go to Braille? And I ended up just jumping on that, and they provided me with a car. I just packed up everything that I owned and just took off and beelined it straight to Braille House, and I was there for a little over 2 years.
Tune in next week for part 2 of this video, the dive down of what happened when Carlos started at Braille and where he is today. I don't mean to sound too picky, but everyone I'm adding to the team, to me, are the people who seem to me the most passionate about skateboarding. People who have never been given a free pass. For a split second, it seemed like Carlos may have lost a little bit of his mojo, but after this conversation, it was obvious that he will always be the dude who pushes harder and works harder to achieve what he wants.
It's such a privilege and it's an honor to be here. So thank you, Braille, and I'll do my best to entertain all your fans and have fun, guys, because skateboarding is all about fun, you know?